Hello.
Hi.
Here to take a look at some of my books. Hopefully not all of them, because we won't have time for that.
Well, thanks so much for having us here in your space.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Well, I'll start with some ground rules. Just because it is a little bit, I don't have enough space. So we're just not going to talk about and pretend that all of these don't exist.
Why is that?
These are this is my TBR shelf. These are the books that I haven't read yet. And they're stacked too deep. So I can't tell you about them because I've not looked at them yet. So I can't give recommendations or not. This small little nook is where I manage to keep all the ones that everybody is lending me, usually my partner, because we basically just trade books back and forth all the time. But I can't tell you about those either because I haven't read them, but they do come endorsed by other people. The one I have to start with, and it's up here where it was supposed to be my favorites, but it got out of hand, as you will soon see. But
how good catch.
My little opossum likes to jump off of here. Of course, my very favorite, House of Leaves. For a book about obsession that makes fun of you for being obsessed about it, it likes you to get obsessed about it. So I have. I definitely
have your tattaoo here, I see.
Oh yeah, there's no relation. It's totally, it's absolutely not inspired by this literal page right here that I just happened to flip to.
Oh wow.
That's a very happy accident there. I stared at this book my entire adolescence because it was right when it came out in 2001, just to age me a little bit. And I was like, oh, that looks weird, and didn't buy it until college. Read it the first time, loved it because it is weird. You can find this anywhere. It just has a very strange structure and sort of makes you piece together what's going on about what is basically just a haunted house story. And then ends up being this like really detailed exploration of like generational trauma. And as a person with generational trauma, I was like, oh, this guy gets it, this book gets it, and it knows all the ways that it sort of takes you around. So it takes you around, but also still keeps it like funny and lighthearted enough that like you don't feel, at least I don't feel drained after reading this compared to like other like more intense or more realistic like horror depictions. So like one we'll get to later, Tenders the Flesh, very draining to read, way shorter, not surreal whatsoever, but makes you exhausted at the end of it. And this like stays fun and goofy, I think, and that makes it quite a lot of fun to read.
Goofy trauma. It's a genre all its own.
Yeah, it's the joke about like my trauma made me funny. This author's trauma made him funny, and he put in his weird horror book about trauma. Right next to it is the little guy. Sorry, this little clay opossum likes to fall over, and it's got little fragile claws. So, but we definitely not talk about the notebook that I'm keeping alongside reading it for the second time when I took y'all through.
Wow.
last year when we did the group read. In fact, it's probably the only book that I like so much that I have two copies because this is a very special. My partner Abby found a artist that recovers old books, and they found this one that is a copy of House of Leaves with this very wonderful like
that's beautiful
green cover inside. It's still the same book, and I've not actually read this one because I'm sort of scared to ruin it, and I already have one that's marked up, so why do it again? But beautiful piece to like.
Oh, that's great
to have. Yeah. Let's see. I would love to talk about my other sort of big favorite up here. Although I will say these two are more up here because they are part of series that the authors have not finished yet, despite having said the new one is coming for years. The Traitor by Cormorant, this entire series, I love because it is one of these fantasy series that it doesn't do the Game of Thrones thing where it's like, we're a fantasy world and we're just doing medieval Europe with dragons. This is like, no, it's a fantasy world. We can do whatever we want. Things can be even weirder than you think. And
It's like an anti-Tolkien, or
it has some of the same like globe spanning adventure that a Tolkien story does. It just goes, it doesn't need to be in the UK and, have violence against women to be good fantasy.
That's a great distinction.
In fact,
I think
this involves the literally worst girl boss ever, as she decides to join the evil empire that colonized her to destroy it from the inside. And the entire series is about how that's actually probably really hard to do, and it's about her struggles with it.
All right, that sounds incredible.
There's supposed to be a 4th book coming soon. I have no idea when, though.
How long it's coming soon been?
Well, the 3rd book came out. Let's see, this 3rd book came out in 2020. So
Okay.
the author says he's working on it. I believe him. Same as, I'm sure everyone who sees this will already be familiar with this wonderful series. This first one is very dark. This is kind of dark. It is about necromancers in space and the giant space necromancy empire. But it manages to stay fun and lighthearted for a good chunk of it. Absolutely delightful series. This will go somewhere on a better organized science fiction fantasy shelf when I get more shelves.
That is one I've heard recommended a lot and have just started. Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it.
It's phenomenal. The only caution I would give is if you are a person who doesn't like waiting for sequels, you're going to be waiting for a sequel. So there are plenty of people who will tell you, no, wait until the last one comes out so you can just read it all the way through, because you will want to just completely finish the series, and you can't do that yet. Okay. Over to here, this is kind of like miscellaneous shelf.
Okay.
Mostly where I put either books that I have read in other formats that I think are special, or they're gifts from other people.
Mm-hmm.
For example, anyone who knows me knows I am a big old Dune head. I believe this is the Barnes & Noble special edition. There's nothing particularly unique about the book itself, but my best friend back home gave it to me as a gift for my birthday right before I moved down here. So it's just a wonderful thing to keep on its own. And it is, of course, alongside I'm not going to pull all 4 of these out, but these are the little lore books that are in the video game Destiny, and mostly Destiny 2, which I am obsessed with.
Wait, so the lore books that you can flip through in the menu?
Yes.
You have...
They also printed, not all of them, just some of them.
Okay.
And for example, the first one here, The Book of Sorrow, one of the best ones, also happens to be written by our friend Seth Dickenson of the Traitor Cormorant
incredible
series. Game's not all that great anymore because of some changes that were made, but back when these were being made and printed, it was some of the best sci-fi shooter stuff you could get. And if you like getting lost in weird sci-fi worlds, these will give you just enough plot to go on, and they're all primary sources. So you are piecing together the game's story yourself while reading what the people living in it are producing. And some of it is fantastic. And the last one that I want to show up here is, I can't talk about sci-fi without talking about my absolute favorite sci-fi cover artist. He has a second one of these. I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, wow.
But if you read sci-fi, have read sci-fi at any point in your life, you'll have seen a cover produced by him. I have a number. If I end up pulling one of them out, I'll be able to show you. But he just has these absolutely fantastic,
wow.
I don't know if blurry is the right word, right? But it always looks like you're looking at something really massive from really far away.
Yeah.
They never have any connection to what's going on in the book. They are purely there to be beautiful covers. But
are they commissioned for the books?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I don't know like how the exact process works, but he will just paint. And I believe he does them all like oil painting or watercolor. But he will just like make a cover, and oftentimes it just seems like he's given the title and is then told to like, hey, make a cover based off of this title. And he does. And there have been many books of his that I wind up buying just because I see the cover. And I'm like, this story has to be great. It's got this really great cover on it. And a lot of them are. So like, I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to judge a book by its cover when it looks like that. So this, before it got a little bit disorganized, of course, was my cyberpunk shelf. Although we can ignore the Ocean Vuong. That's just a deeply emotional story about being queer. But the first one I have to talk about from up here is, because you're not going to see this one anymore either after a while, is this fun little book. It is getting a real publisher release. This was one of the this is one of the authors of the SCP Foundation. Mm-hmm. And he took a bunch of his entries in that like universe and put them into a novel form. It's one of the best like surreal cosmic horror science fiction books I've ever read. I don't know what they're gonna do to change to like make it legal for the like full publication release, but I'm gonna buy it and read it again because I read this at least like once a year because it's so much fun.
Is it set up like the typical SCP, like their case files, or how is it structured?
It like opens with a case file and then it jumps into the perspective of the members of that foundation who deal with the threats that case file is about. And you'll read some of the case files the author wrote as they're going through the story and like piecing together what's going on.
Okay, that's
so
great.
Like if you've read the SCP stuff before, you'll see them referenced in here. But also if you have no idea like what's going on in the universe, you don't need to, because it all is like given to you in this one book. It's fantastic. Okay, I think that's good for that one. I have to. There might be a lot here, so I'm just going to do this, and we'll just go through these in a stack.
Okay.
Because all of these are so good that I have to talk about them. This, Our Share of Night, is probably the single best horror novel that I've ever read. If you're a fan of Stephen King, you're going to love this. It's simply a queer family story. If that family was the planned and specially bred avatar / receptacle for a cosmic horror demon type thing. If you like your horror ambiguous, if you like your horror to be the real evil is being done by people, this will have it. I also love it because it's a horror novel that is not people just being awful to each other. All of the characters are trying to make lives for the people around them better. And they succeed sometimes, they fail sometimes, they have regrets. None of them are saints, none of them are horrifically evil. They're just trying their best. It's beautiful.
Cool. Sounds like a very human story, and I dig those.
It's like 800 pages, and then when I finish it, I immediately want to go back and start it again because it's just so good. I have to talk about Open Throat here because it is a delightful, quick, hilariously funny read about a gay mountain lion. And it's a mountain lion who lives in a relatively, I believe it's a national park, but he has run-ins with humans all the time. And it's all told through his perspective. And it is not a human perspective, and it's very clearly you're seeing what people are doing and how they're acting and talking through an animal. including words being misspelled or spelled in a way that somebody who has never heard that language would like pronounce it. And just, it's one of the gayest things I've ever read, and it's completely beautiful. I can't tell you more without spoiling the plot if you haven't read it yet. But read it for a book club. One of the best choices I've ever made.
It is a wild ride. I've actually had a chance to read it, and yeah, it's you just don't know where it's going to go.
It's so wonderful. It has stuff to say about like coming out and gender and neurodivergence and just not fitting in. And it's the silly story about a mountain lion that thinks it's perfect.
Amazing.
In that same vein, this is Monstrilio, which I would describe as Frankenstein if Victor actually cared about his kid. And again, has a lot to do with queerness and parents who try, who aren't perfect, who still traumatize their kid trying to make their kid into something that he's not. I don't want to say more than that without spoiling some of the most like touchingly emotional monster related horror stuff. The main little guy, this little wretched guy, loves eating human flesh, and you love him for it. Like, and I can't explain why without spoiling it, so you just have to read it for yourself. I have to point out, of course, American Rapture. This just came out last year, I believe. If you grew up Catholic and are queer, you'll love it. It's a zombie apocalypse. They are fast zombies, and they are utterly horrifying. And they are not nearly as horrifying as the intense religious guilt that the main character feels. So you don't have to have Catholic trauma, but it helps. I have to point out, I have a number of books by Margaret Killjoy. Mm-hmm. This is my favorite. It's a short story collection of mostly post-apocalyptic science fiction. Uh-huh. But what I love about it is a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff likes to do either the like one person fixes the world trope. One person restores the old world and everything is fine, or everyone dies horribly. This doesn't have that. This is just people trying to survive. And there's varying levels of silliness in some of the stories. Some of them are very serious. Some of them are just about acceptance of the worlds that you wanted no longer being there. Some involve like, well, what happens if a bunch of like humans who loved cosplaying as orcs started a commune? And what happens when they have an argument over what being an orc actually means? All of them just absolutely fantastic stories. And if you were going to start looking into like queer anarchist science fiction, she's the person I would point you to. This one is just great. And of course, I can't talk about horror and I'll talk about Fledgling. Maybe one of the best vampire stories I've ever read. Probably if you've heard of it, it's because of the massive age gap romance that is in it. And also the fact that even though it is an age gap, the main character, even though she is in her 60s, looks like a 12-year-old human child. And what it really is a story about eugenics and race and how we talk about and build the idea of what a race is and how we treat people based on that. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see. I have to, of course. We're going to jump into nonfiction for a bit.
All right.
I have to, of course, shout out my favorite biography of the devil. As silly as it sounds, this is an actual historian going through and talking about how humanity invented the concept of the devil, going all the way back to like pre-Jewish times. And
So
absolutely
a personification of evil, or a specific one, or
this is, if I remember correctly, this is literally like, how did we like develop the idea that there is this guy called the devil, and he is like opposed to, he's opposed to divinity, and like that had to be invented somewhere. So like, how do we get there? Less about like the, I don't know what the term is. Less about the like, why do we personify something as like being done by an evil being, and like how specifically the figure of the devil gets made. So, because it's not a thing that exists in like early Jewish folklore, and then it kind of does, and then it gets changed by Christianity and medieval Christianity and everything going forward. So, absolutely great.
Awesome.
Oh, I mean, it's a little bit tough back here, but if you can see, I have the entire Dune series that I go through at least once a year because I got hooked on it when I was a child, and I love a weird science fiction universe that doesn't quite make any sense. They do read like encyclopedias, but they also twist the whole like fantasy sci-fi trope of the chosen one is actually not the chosen one. That's actually a really bad idea. You should not want a chosen one. I don't know that he needs 6 books to tell that point over and over again, but it does get the point across. So I love it. I would stop with the ones that he wrote. I would not read the ones by his son because they make a bunch of weird choices that I don't think anybody understands.
This is a tangent, but how do you feel about the films?
I love them. Like I would, if it wouldn't literally kill him, I would let Denis Villeneuve make an entire 6-book series for all the original Dunes. He would not want to do that, but okay. I have to, of course, I had to pull these out as I was looking for things. Right, I keep talking about vampires and Frankenstein, and everybody should read Dracula. It's dense, it's weird because it's told, only through letters. But honestly, if you like Supernatural or like the X-Files, this is inventing that format. It is mostly an investigation where a bunch of people figure out that like there's something bad going on and we have to like stop it. Also, it's written by a theater gay, and everyone in it talks and acts like a theater gay, including the guy from Texas who walks and talks like a Texan stereotype. Because I don't know, Bram Stoker didn't know any Texans, so it's like they're gonna be a stereotype. So it has a like very silly energy to it, even though it kind of helps invent one of these like big horror genres. The opposite of that is, of course, Frankenstein. Have to shout out this book only because she basically invents all of the genres I like reading. It's a story about just a guy being a real bad dad, and how everything could have been fine if he had just not been such a shitty father. I picked up this edition because it is supposed to be, it has essays by engineers and a bunch of other like natural scientists, and they were supposed to like offer commentary on like the mad science angle of Dr. Frankenstein. I didn't think that they added very much because I think they missed a lot of the emotional point of the book. But even now, like one of the best stories ever written. And you can see I also went overboard annotating this one. So I just do that because whenever I see anything that I like or resonate with, I just like put a little tab next to it. And yeah, if you haven't, everybody should read this, and I'm not gonna be the first person to tell you that.
It is masterful. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's just like, and the fact that she wrote it like in like a weekend or something.
That I did not know. What?
or it was started because of the competition, I believe.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, and the fact that like it's the reason why we have modern horror and modern science fiction. And like you spend all this time in the monster's head talking about how they don't understand the world around them because they were just yanked into it, and this person who brought them in only sees them as a monster. And it's, I don't know, from something from what, the 1830s, like it's perfect. No complaints.
I agree. Yeah, it's incredible.
Into sort of, I guess, I don't know if you call this weird. I think is maybe a bit niche, but I have to keep my Ian Banks Culture series on their separate shelf because this is one of my favorite science fiction series of all time. One of them's currently missing because a friend of ours is borrowing it. It is, imagine if you took a Star Trek future where it's a utopia and made it even more utopian. Nobody has any issues whatsoever living in the society that is depicted in these books. They have basically solved every issue you could possibly think of. And so what does and the books are about what happens when you've got a civilization that is like that. And it usually involves them being like, everyone else is kind of really fucked up. We could fix that. But like, that's bad. That's colonialism. So we're just gonna be really earnest and maybe do a little bit of shenanigans behind the scenes to like convince people in other places that like, maybe it's a good idea to make sure all of your people have healthcare. And the stories usually follow a character from outside that culture being brought in to like do some mission for them, and their discomfort with interacting with the society that has like solved everything. And lots of people being like, but you can't have solved everything, because what are we going to do if you've solved everything? There's nothing left. You have to have something to struggle against, everything that just makes you weak otherwise. And they're like, no, actually, we're fine. Like, we can just be fine.
Wow.
I just think it's very fun.
That's cool.
And they cover all kinds of like different sub-stories as a part of that. I think along here that is probably it. I have one more thing to show on that shelf over there.
Okay.
And that is specifically my big old, well, not big, but this little cube here in the corner is where I put all of the books that I think deserve. People can read whatever they want and should read whatever they want, but some things should just be shamed. And the books that I think should feel shame fit into here. I, of course, have Neil Gaiman in here and all the books of his that I own for the very obvious reasons. Unfortunately, this used to be one of my favorite books, and then things happened. I have this in here because I bought it when I was told in college, like, oh, this is like a modern, like, weird book everybody should read. And then I learned more about the author and the book, and it's been sitting unread for 15 years. It probably will. And I think that's okay. I have, I think some of these are like kind of bad. I had during COVID a fun little interaction with a TV show called Hellier, which is about a bunch of like cryptozoologists and like paranormal investigators who get a prank email and take it so seriously they make 2 seasons of TV out of like tracking down everything. And so a bunch of these are like books that they reference that I was like, this sounds unhinged enough that I want to read it because this will be fun. And so, for example, I have the conspiracy/racist classic Chariots of the Gods in here. Nobody should read this. If you've seen Ancient Aliens, like, if you've seen the Ancient Aliens, like, YouTube highlight, you've seen everything in this book. This is a Dutch guy, I believe, who did a bunch of drugs in, I think, the 70s, or at least it feels like he did. And then was like, the pyramids are big and weird. It seems kind of weird that like somebody would have built that a long time ago. What if aliens did it? And the book is just him talking about how he thinks that like aliens built all of ancient civilization.
So what Ancient Aliens was adapted from, basically.
Yeah, it's like Ancient Aliens is like the TV adaptation and extension of like the stuff that's in here. Everything else like that is kind of silly. Now, the one that I guess I'm spending more time on the shelf than I planned to, but the one that I might recommend everybody read because it is fun is Mothman Prophecies. Mostly because the guy who wrote it, like, it was never really clear if he believed what he wrote. He also wasn't a massive conspiracy theorist like a lot of other like people get into. He was kind of like, that was like a weird thing that happened. Lots of people talking about weird stuff going on. Like, what if something was causing that weird stuff? I don't know what it is, but I'm going to talk to the people who saw weird stuff and write about it. And this is the book that like, what the movie adaptation is based off of. A lot of the modern myths about Mothman come from stuff that he wrote in here. And he kind of like invented modern like UFO extraterrestrial lore. Like this inspired the X-Files and that kind of thing. And that's a TV show that I love. So when I got the chance to read this, it is quite fun. And it's just a guy in West Virginia talking to people who saw weird shit and being like, wow, that's really weird. I wonder what caused that. Oh, well.
Why is it in your Book of Shame file?
Well, because it unfortunately, like a lot of these others, inspires a lot of really nasty things that we deal with now. And part of what bothers me about the book is he talks about himself as being objective and being one of these, like, I'm seeing things that no one else is allowing themselves to see. But he doesn't critically interrogate anything that he's saying. He's like, some people saw dudes in suits in a car outside of someone's house. It's got to be the CIA. And like, it's just a bummer there's not more than that. Like, he's not cuckoo bananas, so like, he's more grounded than some of these other people, but he leads the way for a lot of like more uncomfortable things that we're fighting with right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And people read it and take it way too seriously. And also, I think he was pretty like misogynistic. So
that, I think that counts.
Yeah. Like, I think maybe you could make the argument that this is the only one that might not belong on here, but it also thematically fits with a lot of the other weirdo conspiracy shit that's in here. So, of course, that makes me sound unhinged because why would anybody read that? But, yeah. So that is my little shelf of shame. And then we just have the comfort shelf.
Okay.
Which I called because it is the books that like I read a lot as a kid, just because they were fun, and I have to highlight it because I never hear anybody talking about them anymore. This is also going to age me very heavily, but these little books, there's like 8 of them. They're now like part of what the Legends universe, right? Whatever was like decanonized when they made the new series. These are just fun little Star Wars books. Bunch of dudes in X-Wings going around doing Star Wars shit. And when you're 8 years old, this is peak literature, and I love it. I have not read them in a very long time, but I carry them with me every apartment that I move to because I just like, there's like a wonderful little like reminder of like the trashy sci-fi that I love.
What's this pile up here?
Oh, these are my current reads / thing that will be starting soon.
Okay.
I have a problem because I start way too many things all at once.
These are all of the books that you are currently reading.
Yes. I have a problem. It's also the ADHD, but we were reading Sabriel for a little book club, and so
yes.
I'm borrowing this, and I haven't been getting very far because I've been distracted by other books. I've got
just finished that one. Really enjoyed it.
It's so much fun. I can't wait to get back into it.
It's fun.
I have a collection of essays. I've never read any of Mary Oliver's stuff, but it's Abby's favorite poet. This is the first book of hers that she read. Me, her, and Luke are reading it for a little buddy read. Very good. As someone who doesn't have a lot of exposure to like, I never read a lot of like nature writing and like I guess the transcendentalist stuff, right? It was not something that I like enjoyed very much reading as a kid. This is great. Also, one of the best essays about Edgar Allan Poe that I've ever read. So I'm not done with it yet, but so far so good. Cool. I am, of course, reading Parable of the Sower. This is for another book club. I did not finish it in time because it's very sad and I need a bit of a break.
I get that.
Of course, just got Forest Euphoria, which is our weird book club read for the month. I'm like 2 pages in, so I can't tell you anything about it right now.
Yeah, I'm in the beginning too. I'm enjoying it so far.
And then this is a book that Abby lent me called Little Eyes, because I was like, I need something weird, like a palate cleanser. I've been reading a lot of depressing stuff. This is just a weird science fiction story where people can buy a stuffed animal that is connected to the internet, and another person can control it. The person controlling the stuffed animal cannot talk to the person on the other side. And they have cameras and microphones in them, so the person in the stuffed animal can see everything that is happening in the room. And it's just like a bunch of little, so far loosely connected stories about like how different people react to that. It is shockingly very sweet for something that is a pretty dystopian like premise for a book.
Yeah,
because we think of like surveillance and loss of privacy, and that some of that is in here. But there's also a lot of people like finding ways to communicate and connect. That's so far like actually really touching.
Wow.
This one I need to actually just I just have it here because I have to return it to the library. I just finished it. This is Dracula if it was even more gay. Lady finds a woman who has been murdered in a bog and turns into a vampire, and I can't tell you more without spoiling it.
Okay.
Very gross, very fun, kind of sad, but has a very, very like satisfying ending. So,
cool.
Very worth it.
The blood drips on the pages are a nice touch.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic.
It's incredible.
And then last but not least, I haven't actually started this one yet, but I'm going to because I was so excited. This is Someone's Walking on Your Grave. This is the same author as Our Share of Night over there, but this is her nonfiction book. She got her start as a journalist, I believe. This is about her talking about going around to different important cemeteries around the world and like how different societies like talk about and memorialize death. And so for a horror writer who is also a journalist to do that, this came out and I was like, I have to. It was like an immediate buy, and I will be starting it probably tonight, quite honestly. So, yeah, that's my stack of things that I'm reading all at once, which is why if you're in a book club with me and I say I haven't finished it, this is the cause, and I'm sorry.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking us through.
Yeah, thank you for coming by. I'm excited to see what this looks like, and also everyone else who does this, so I can see what they're talking about and what they like. Because I'm going to buy all of those books too.
We'll just add to everyone's double stack deep TBR
yeah, don't be like
piles.
Me. Get more bookshelves. Okay. All right. See you later.
See ya.